Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelly, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in.
So today,
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Sorry.
something about mittens comes there. I just know that you've just led us perfectly into these are a few of our favorite things.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about our favorite things.
Yeah.
Because, why not? Why wouldn't you? That lipstick is so pretty on you.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that. Look gorgeous.
Well,
Pretty girl.
thank you.
So
That's one of my favorite things is when people feed my big fat ego. Thank you.
she's gorgeous. Come on. Let's not kid ourselves. Thank you, Angie. So we thought we would talk about some of our favorite things. Like, what are our favorite current things, like right in this moment? So if we start with food, because why wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm somebody, because of my ADHD, I get on a food kick where I just make that thing over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll get tired of it and not make it again for a couple of years, and then I get on a kick for that thing again.
Yeah.
That thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your favorite foods right now?
Oh, my gosh. So I honestly have to, this is I'm going to do the guilty,
Do it.
weird pleasure. It's fake food that I don't think is actually nutritional at all in any way, shape, or form. And
Dying
it's
to know
just
what it
been recently, I don't really like fast food, but I have been craving me a Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's. I know.
told me this last
Big
weekend.
frozen hockey puck of a piece of fish, maybe fish like.
I think it's fish
Is it?
of sorts.
Is it
like a white fish?
A white fish. And a glop of that fake plastic cheese. But the tartar sauce, that's the thing that makes it magical, that McDonald's tartar sauce. And then the soft bun. And I don't know, same thing. I'll get a craving for
That's
something.
interesting. I used to love Filet-O-Fish. I haven't had one in years, and it doesn't sound like something that I really want to have right now.
That's okay.
But
You don't have
I'm not yucking your yum.
Don't yuck my yum.
I'm not.
Yeah. So that's one of them. And then oddly, on the other end of the spectrum, just Thai food. Thai food.
What's your favorite thing to order at a Thai restaurant?
Oh my gosh. Usually something with basil leaf in it. I like that herbaceous.
Right. I like the swimming rama where it's spinach and peanut sauce.
Oh yeah.
I can't eat rice, which is tricky in Thai food. But
Let's get over a bunch of veggies.
yeah, just lots of veggies. Oh, I love a good curry.
Yeah, curry is.
Like masaman curry, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
With potatoes or something.
We're from Washington State, so if we're fucking that up, excuse us
Yes.
if we're not saying that right. Yeah, but that's curries are good. But yeah, just Thai food. It's so fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I like it with a little bit of heat. I wish I could do more heat. But my 59-year-old tummy says, don't do it. So I don't.
I like stuff pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to a restaurant last weekend because we went on a girls' trip to Portland.
Yeah.
And what was that appetizer? It was like a pork belly.
Oh, yeah. It had some.
It was pretty spicy. So we
Yeah.
went with our girlfriend Melanie, and
Yeah.
the three of us were sharing some tapas plates. And I was like, but you guys were like, whoa, that's really spicy. And
That's
I'm
a
like,
spicy meatball. Yeah.
well,
Or a pork belly. Yeah. It was good. It had good flavor. So that's kind of been the food thing. And then, of course, my constant obsession is finding the perfect cup of coffee.
we are coffee snobs, coffee whores, whatever you want to call it. We are
Those coffee.
aficionados. My husband works for Starbucks corporate. Coffee is borderline a religion in our household.
Yeah.
What's your favorite coffee drink?
Oh my gosh. I do have to admit, I like some boofy stuff. I like to get a latte. Actually, my drink right now is an iced kettle corn macchiato.
Oh,
I know. It's got this. Kettle corn is you get that salty, buttery caramel.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, I get it with half the flavor because where they do that, it's too sweet. But I also get a triple. Don't do less than a triple. If you're doing less than a triple, are you really having coffee? Are you?
I mean, I feel like you probably.
Well, not me.
2 shots of espresso is. It should be plenty for most people.
It's minimum.
Do you like Pete's coffee too? That's your favorite?
Yeah, Major Dickinson's blend.
Yeah.
if I have to get one off the shelf and I can't get something fancy from a coffee roaster, then that's a good go-to. Yes, Pete's Coffee, if you'd like to sponsor us, feel free. Major Dickinson's blend. You won't go wrong.
That was totally unsponsored and
Totally
unexpected.
unsponsored
Yeah.
and unexpected. Coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
Coffee
I
is.
like cream in it and stuff.
If coffee didn't have any like health implications, like if it had no calories and no.
Actual coffee really doesn't. It's when you
Okay, but okay, so like if mixed coffee drinks
Like a latte.
didn't have any caffeine. Well, I like the caffeine, but I want to be like. Okay. Here's the thing: if I drink caffeine after like 4, I'm up all night.
Yeah,
I'm at that age. I'm at that age. So if it had no physical implications or implications, okay, I would drink gallons of like iced coffee.
Oh yeah,
every day.
I do. I like.
I will. You get one of those big. I will. It's like 20 seconds. I'm like, did you even taste it, Angie?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like gone, done.
I know.
I thought you had
I have one right here.
Do you?
Look at this right here.
My coffee's over on the desk.
Cutter's Point, coffee that's good for you. That's not their motto. That is not their motto.
It's a sponsorship, apparently.
This is a kettle corn macchiato.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me,
I'm gonna have a drink.
foods are. I like to cook. I fancy myself a good cook. She's a hella good cook too.
We like.
Yeah, she's a really good cook. I do my own sourdough, and I can rock some sourdough bread with like avocado toast or just like that over medium egg on it, or like some bruschetta on homemade. Yeah, I do not mess around when it comes to bread. I make really good bread. I have a loaf that is bulk fermenting right now, and I can't wait to bake it off tonight.
We'll eat bread.
Yeah.
On one of our podcasts, that's all we'll do. The whole podcast.
I love sourdough's better for you.
Bread with I like it with olive oil.
Oh yeah.
And some balsamic dip in.
But I am a freak for anything sourdough. So because I do my own sourdough, I make my own tortillas, my own English muffins, sandwich bread, anything that has flour in it. Really, I'm gonna make a sourdough version.
Well, my favorite things, because you're saying bread, I'll have to add in there. I love butter. I like butter. On anything.
Look at us being perfect. I make bread. I like butter.
I like butter. Put them together. Yeah. So real butter, not margarine. That's not real. Anybody eating?
I mean, it's real. It's just not real good for you.
It's not real good for you. But
it exists. It's real.
Butter.
Yeah.
European.
Oh, and the cat.
Or fat.
Kerrygold.
Kerrygold is a good one. But any kind of European butter, it's just richer, better. You don't need as much of it. I'd rather have a little bit of the real stuff than oodles of the fake crap.
Yeah. So I make sourdough all the time.
Yeah.
But I make my own, like, I don't buy sandwich bread. Like, I make it. I found the perfect recipe for soft, smushy sourdough sandwich bread. Or I make my own rolls. Like, I make my own hamburger buns and all that stuff. So I love that. I just love the taste of sourdough. It's better for your gut health because the fermenting process is, I don't know why it's better, but you digest it more easily. It's better for your gut health.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also do my own canning. So
you guys, we're in our 50s.
Yeah,
so
I'm a grandma. I'm over here baking sourdough.
Yeah, our favorite things are gonna gravitate towards coffee and sourdough bread. That's
a given.
Those are.
But I do my own canning, which is really fun. So I can my own fruits. I have a pressure canner, so not a pressure cooker, but a pressure canner. So I can my own beans and stuff like that.
I receive all of those as gifts.
Yes,
I do not do any of those things.
I make my own cranberry juice, which is much better for you. So at the holiday time, I bought the day after Christmas when they all go on clearance. I bought 40 bags of fresh cranberries and froze them, and each bag will make 2.5 quarts of cranberry juice. So I can a bunch of that.
Yeah.
I make my own fizzy lemonade that's fermented.
That was good. I had some of that.
Yogurt every week. I make a big batch of yogurt homemade.
I do none of this.
Yeah, I'm a homesteading kind of.
I get up and I make coffee.
But I'm a lazy homesteader. I make my own coffee creamer. It's really good.
I will take any of these.
It's the pistachio espresso one is really good. It slaps.
Yeah.
So if I'm going out to eat a proper cheeseburger, Done. Sign me up every time. Every
Yeah.
time I'm going to take a cheeseburger. I
like
love a good cheeseburger.
I like going out. I mean, our favorite things obviously are food.
We haven't got the other topics.
We have other things other than food that are our favorite
Sure.
things. But food is life.
It brings
there's
the
a lot,
world together.
Yeah, there's a lot of bonding that can happen over
Yes.
some sourdough bread and a
Yes.
good hunk of Kerrygold butter
I love it.
and a good cup of coffee. That's a good.
So what is
your day.
your favorite, since we're doing a podcast?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite podcast that you listen to?
Oh my gosh. I like the Office Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
That one's
I haven't
kind of
heard that.
fun. And I know you just introduced me to a new one that I think is pretty fun.
Tony and Ryan podcast. Highly recommend. I am a Tarper.
She's a Tarper.
Tony and Ryan podcaster. They are just comedic gold. It's like nonsense in the best way. They're Australian besties, male, female.
Yeah.
And they make me laugh my face off every day. And
That's what this is.
Tony and Ryan, I adore you. And Tony, I know you just got engaged. If you need a wedding photographer, if you get me to Melbourne, it's
She's
on
there.
me, babe. It's
And
on
if
me.
you get her, she'll just put me like in storage under I'll go down with the baggage and I won't.
Oh, I think me like under the seat. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh,
crumbles
I don't
like
think
a,
I can do
she
that.
folds like a lawn chair. This
Just
one.
sit on the St. Bernard and will put me in a crate and stick me down below.
She'll be like, "Oof."
Yeah, I won't be helpful in any way, but I'll be there for you. So you want us to be there for you.
Obviously.
But yeah, podcasts are like, I like ones that are more, I tend to just listen to ones that are more fun. I want
Right.
a bright spot in my day if I'm listening. I don't want to hear about murder.
Oh yeah, there's that murder one that my favorite murder, something like that.
Yeah, I don't have any favorite.
I listened to that and they didn't talk about murder at all.
Well, what the?
I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Okay,
Maybe I just listened to an off episode. They were not talking about makeup tips, and I'm like, I thought this was a
maybe it's
murder
three
show.
corpses. Who knows? Which when you're over 50, not bad to know how to do.
So Tony and Ryan podcast is my favorite, just guilty pleasure. Like I think they are absolutely hilarious. Some business ones that I love because I am a business owner. Portrait System podcast hosted by Nikki Klosser, who's a dear friend of mine. She is a baller podcaster. I love her to bits. I get to see her next week in Vegas. I'm excited. The Generator podcast with my friend Matt Stagliano is amazing. There are lots of good like businessy ones.
Yeah, and you guys, if you have a favorite podcast, let us know.
Yeah.
Like we're open to.
I'm a podcast girl. I don't listen to the radio.
Yeah, I don't listen to the radio.
I just listen to podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah.
Mostly podcasts.
Yeah, like I want, mostly for me, it's like I use them for entertainment, relief. I'm not necessarily trying to learn a lot about anything. I have to learn a lot for my regular everyday life, for my job, for all that stuff. So for me, they're more just for fun.
Right.
It's like I want the escape.
Right.
So, but if you have some, like, let us know.
Yeah. Let us know.
Our
I'd love to listen to those.
Yeah.
What about music? What kind of music do you love right now?
Gosh, my music is so eclectic all over the broad spectrum. I like musicals. I like pop music.
What about current
I
stuff? Like current things that are...
Oh my gosh.
Did you see the Super Bowl halftime?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
any
not
of his
something I'm
music
typically
beforehand.
Gonna know. Yeah.
But like we all did the dun, 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 like the little scooter crowd. Like I loved the halftime show this year at the Super Bowl.
The one thing I always want to be open to is, music is an always evolving, changing thing. And I never want to be someone who goes, oh, those kids' music today. It's just noise. I don't ever want to be that way. Like we have grandkids now.
We do.
So I
Lots of
listen to like my 8-year-old granddaughter will say, hey, can we hear, something? And she, I want to know what she likes. And music to me is so, you just have to be open-minded with it. I could like just about anything, but music I'm into right now, I just saw Hamilton last week.
Yeah, you just went to a few days ago.
I'm a little bit behind on the Hamilton curve. I know a lot of people have been.
I'm not even on it yet.
For a long time.
Yeah.
It's a great, amazing musical with amazing music. So I'll get into, I'll go through periods where I'll pull out all my old Broadway, things and listen to those. But then sometimes I'm like, ooh, the 80s, because I'm from the 80s.
Do you have an anthem song that's like your fire me up, like you need to like rev yourself up and you're going to listen to this song to get
Katy
you
Perry's Roar.
roar? Okay.
That's like if I'm trying to put myself in a female empowered, I'm going to go kick some ass. That's a good one.
Yeah. Girl on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
This girl is on fire.
She is.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
menopause.
flames right behind me.
I feel the heat.
There's fire right here. I'm on fire. No.
Wait, I'm going to backtrack because we do have menopause and we often will forget if we don't say the thing.
Right.
What should our people who follow our podcast be called? If they're tarpers, what if you're following?
Oh, right. If you're Tony and Ryan podcast or flashers,
You're flashers.
you guys are our flashers, our hot flash chronicles people.
Our
We're going to call you flashers.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Flash
You-
Friday.
Flash
like we can have,
Friday.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What do you guys think? Do you want to be called flashers? Does that sound fun?
Maybe you already are called that.
Off the record.
Off the record.
Off the record.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
We're supportive of it.
We listen and we don't judge.
We don't judge much.
We don't judge.
We try to. When we get done with the podcast, we
So do you have a favorite TV show right now? What are you currently watching?
Severance.
Severance. We need to renew our Apple TV because I know a new season just dropped.
I'm liking a lot of the Apple
Shit, I dropped the Apple TV.
Shrieking is really good. That's with Harrison Ford.
Oh,
One of my crushes is in that.
yes.
But they do have some good shows on Apple. But Severance
And if we're
is-
talking crushes, Jason Momoa is on C on Apple TV.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great
So
series.
Apple TV does have some good, but Severance, I liked Lost when Lost was on.
I never watched Lost. Not even one episode. I know.
Dear God. Okay, so if you like
Baseball's open.
my pistol is open. If you like kind of sci-fi, kind of dystopian, but there's oddly still some humor thrown in there. Severance.
Yeah.
It's a thinker. It makes you think. I
It's a
like it.
thinker. Speaking of thinkers,
Yes.
I watch a lot of reality TV. That's one of my things that I really enjoy. A lot of it is very mindless. Like I'm watching old seasons of Big Brother right now. I can have it kind of playing in the background. I already know who won. Like I'm
It's
not.
one of those comfort things.
Yeah, it's
I
like
just
there's
need
just
the
something
sound.
going on, but I don't have to put a lot of mental bandwidth. Like if I'm watching Love Island, not a lot of mental bandwidth. It's just a bunch of 27 or 20 somethings like making out with each other, and like it's fine.
There's some psychology into.
Oh, sure. There are people that are professional reality TV stars.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
can
what?
totally make a living off of this, but
Yeah.
there's a psychology in that we will watch things for comfort. Like when I start getting really stressed out, I'll find myself rewatching Schitt's Creek because it's something that feels like therapy to me.
Yeah.
Like I know what happens because I've watched the whole thing several times from beginning to
Yeah.
end. So it's not anything new in it, but there's comfort in I know these characters now. I know they go through this journey and they become good people. It's a feel good.
You're the one that turned me on to Schitt's Creek, and it was during COVID, and you're like, okay, you have to trust me on this.
Get
You're like,
through the first season.
she goes, just give through the first 6 episodes. The first 6 episodes, you're going to be like, Shelly,
Why are you making me watch?
why this has no substance. I can't stand it.
Dan, maybe we love you, but you did make us get through 6 episodes.
Well, that's on
first.
purpose.
Yes,
You're supposed to like not
You're not
connect
supposed
with
to
them.
like these people. You're
Yeah,
not supposed to like.
it's a hero's journey, but she was like, you got to stick it out. And by the final episode,
Yeah.
I was sobbing. Like when I did the making of the final, I mean, like all the feels. Schitt's Creek is masterfully done.
It is.
Dare I say it's my favorite TV show ever.
It might be my favorite one ever.
It's solid. I also love Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is great.
Ted Lasso.
I think it's Lasso. He says
It is.
Lasso
It's like
on the show.
Lasso.
But for reality shows, Traitors,
good
which I know I talked about in a different episode, the Traitors, the premise is everybody shows up to a castle. On the U.S. version, I mean, it's shot in Scotland. It's all previous reality TV stars.
Oh, fun.
So you'll see like,
and recognize people.
yeah. So it's like, oh wait, that's the lady that was on Under or Below Deck, and like,
Oh, okay.
so everybody shows up, and then they ran.
Maybe we'll be on this show someday. Who knows?
Right, because we're gonna be famous. We're famous to us.
We're famous.
So everybody shows up to this castle, and then after the first day, the host, Alan Cummings, or whichever, like I watched New Zealand, Australia, UK, randomly chooses between 3 and 4 people to be the traders secretly. And
okay.
then, so there are traders and faithfuls.
Okay.
And every night they have a banishment where everybody's trying to vote out a traitor.
So you have to figure out who's the traitors,
Right.
who's the faithful. Okay.
And they almost always wind up banishing faithfuls. And then every night the traitors get to murder someone. So they're kicked off the show. So
Dun, dun.
it's fascinating. Like, my husband doesn't really do reality. He's like, why are we watching? This doesn't make any sense. He's obsessed with the traitors because he will lose sleep. He's like, okay, so she would have said this instead, like, because she said this during this challenge, and then they win like a ton of money. And at the end, there's usually 4 people in the end. And if they're all certain that the rest of them are faithfuls, they get to split the money pot, which is like $250,000.
Oh, fine. That's a big.
If there's a single traitor left, the traitor gets all of it.
So now, if you win the 250,000, you can almost buy eggs
Yes. You can buy like 6 dozen eggs.
and a coffee.
Yes. So the traders, cannot recommend it enough.
Okay.
Alan Cummings has like the best.
Okay, you guys are giving
stuff.
some solid advice here
Obviously.
on what you should be watching, what you should be listening to, what you should be drinking,
Yeah.
what you should be eating. I don't know that you could watch.
So my coffee, I wanted to go back to the coffee thing.
I always want.
I know. So I love to ask a barista or the person ordering, what do you get? What's your favorite drink? Because I've rarely found coffees that I didn't like.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Starbucks has like a brown sugar
Cinnamon.
shaken. They do it with oat milk, but I switch it to
Espresso.
regular milk.
Yeah.
I love anything brown sugar.
Yeah, me too.
Brown sugar or caramel. Is
Maybe
like-
that's one of our favorite things.
yeah, caramel.
Sugar.
But just like Old Faithful, like a great mocha, like can't beat it. It's a solid
Sometimes
choice.
I like something simple where it just highlights the coffee, like a flat white.
Yeah,
which,
flat white. It's just a lot.
I don't even need very much anything.
Right.
Maybe just a tad of vanilla.
If you order a latte in Italy, you're going to get a glass of milk. By the way,
Weird.
It just means water, or it just
Nope.
means milk.
I want like a cortado or
No, macchiato.
a macchiato. That's very strong
Cappuccino.
over there, I hope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cappuccino. I love cappuccino.
They don't fuck around with coffee in Italy.
No, they're not.
No,
You're
no.
getting the real deal.
Yeah.
You're adding all the
What was
syrups
the
and
one
shit.
you ordered one for me last week where I was like, oh, whatever you're having.
That was the kettle corn macchiato.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kettle
super
corn.
good.
Salty and sugary.
And my music, I never said my music. I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't know. Roll the tapes. Not sure. I really liked, this is going to sound weird because I'm not a country music fan.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Beyonce's
Oh, her
country music.
Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
Cowboy Carter.
The Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I quite enjoyed that. I love like,
I like it when artists like her, who you just see in this certain genre.
Yeah.
I like it when they're at a point in their career where they get to do a bucket list and they get to sing whatever they want.
yeah.
I think some people have really good success doing that. And then like Garth Brooks did an album as Another Name many years ago.
Did he?
Yeah. And it just didn't hit
Interesting.
it. It was not. So it's like, but I always admire people for like, they can go do whatever they want and
Right.
do. So sometimes really good stuff comes out of that.
For sure.
So why
Yeah.
not? Like give it a shot. They're not going to lose their millions if they have one bad. They
Yeah.
got a point in their life where they can just be creative and have fun. And I admire that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
like,
that.
Let's go off brand and let's just do something different.
I love Adele stuff. Anything with a really solid, like vocalist. Because we're
Sorry, Adele,
Shelly.
that was not you. That was me telling
lovely.
you.
It was lovely.
Was it?
It was. I'm also an old school Metallica girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite band of all
sidebar,
time.
Small bit of information. She probably won't remember, but I went to
Probably
school with Kurt Cobain. So he was in my school.
I met him. I didn't like him.
Oh, when he was in school, like I'm talking, he was in high school.
Did I know that?
Till 8th or 9th grade. I don't know. But I was from Montecito. He ended up becoming famous in Aberdeen, but his parents got divorced and he lived in my town until he was like in 9th or 10th grade.
Huh.
So he was in my school and he was in a couple of my classes. He was a grade or two behind.
Huh.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain. I didn't like his music. I
I
liked
liked his music. I
he was
just
nice.
thought
I liked some of his
when I
music.
met him,
like
he
it
was
when
just hitting his stride of becoming famous.
Yeah.
And I was dating a guy that was in a band, and the whole Nirvana band came over, and he was just real. I mean, I hate to speak ill of somebody who's passed, but he was a dick.
Well, he was like in school, he was very shy. He was not very talkative.
Yeah.
And I never would have guessed, like I was in chorus and I did like music makers and jazz choir and all this stuff. And he didn't even express any interest in music or anything. And by the way, that whole grunge thing, the flannel shirts, that's because we were from Montesano. Everybody lived on a farm. We were all grunge. We all had those shirts.
It's actual grunge.
It was just
It's grungy. It was just
grungy.
grungy.
We were there on farm. So that was not really a fashion choice. It was
Yeah, I love all the grunge alternative. I do think that one of the best male vocalists of all time, and I will argue people on this, is Chris Cornell.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
His tone was perfection.
A lot of those guys have
you heard him
amazing
do Ave Maria?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. So
he was the first celebrity that passed that I cried. I cried when he passed, and then Matthew Perry as well.
yeah,
I took Matthew
it's
Perry.
that's a sad one too. Yeah, but we're not going to be sad.
No, this is a happy
Rest in
podcast.
peace, those guys.
Yes.
But R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But
Everything's fine.
So everything's fine. Don't cry. But
Okay, so we covered food, we covered coffee, music, TV shows, podcasts.
so one of my favorite things to do, we talked about travel, favorite things. But when I travel, one of the things I like to do is I like to go to museums or art exhibits in other countries.
You should be married to my husband.
I love that shit. Like going in to the Tate
I
Modern.
like it. I like it okay. Yeah, it depends on the topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting to see I like art and what people think. Like sometimes you'll walk into a room and there'll be like a, one painting at the end of the hall. And it's just this big canvas with like one black dot off to the side. And I'm like, that looks so lazy. I don't get it. Like there's a lot of modern art. And there'll be somebody there looking at it and they'll be going, it's a commentary on the study of our empty soul.
That I don't
modern
like. I don't love the
society.
commentary.
Like those people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a fucking dot, and somebody was lazy.
Didn't
and
a banana just sell for like $5 million?
Right.
To be smart.
Maybe somebody low on potassium.
So last summer I went to for a photo gig. I was in Spain and we went to the Guggenheim.
Oh.
And it was very thought provoking. There was one piece, what was it called? The Death of Pinocchio, something like that, where it was an artistic piece.
Pinocchio.
Oh, I went dark again. My bad. Sorry. No apologizing. That was just for me. So this thing was called like The Death of Pinocchio or something like that. So it was just like
Look it up. Google it, people.
a big thing of water, like a pool, with a face down Pinocchio, like he had drowned. He's just like laying face down. I was like, that's dark.
That's so dark.
That's dark, dude.
Yeah, I think
It was a lot. It was a lot to unpack. But then there was like an Art Deco room that had like pop art, kind of like almost looked like comic strippy pop art.
Oh, yeah.
happy
Roy
stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah. It was very cool.
Yeah, I just like art because it is really, it can be anything.
Yeah.
And you get to have your own feeling, your own interpretation of it. Some people like Impressionism. Some people like modern, some people like.
I like the work. I just sometimes museums are kind of like,
Yeah.
you got to filter through some stuff. Accurate. You got to filter through some stuff to find like that one really hits.
Like my son and I, when we went to England last spring, we went to a lot of museums and I'd be like, I want you to find the picture that looks the most like me. Like I'd make him find one and then I'd take, my picture next to it. And
I love it.
He tended to pick some dour looking ladies. But to be fair, they were fairly accurate. A lot of them had probably the look on my
Maybe
face.
self-aware. You're like,
That
but
they
also,
looked a little disapproving and judgmental, which is probably the face he saw a lot when he was a teenager.
Well, he's probably seen that more than anyone,
Yeah.
right? Like your kids are going to see that face on you more than.
Yeah, so I was a
Like
lot.
I don't see you. Not very often do I see you like Angie.
Yeah, like it was like these women from the 1700s who had really had about enough.
Mm-hmm.
They're out milking these animals and whatever. Life's not great in the 1700s. So a lot of them, they're
Simpler
expressive.
times.
The simpler times when we're just starving and dying from, random diseases and plagues. So there's
Everything's
like a lot of
fine.
women like doing something and they're just like,
They're the jowls.
yeah, the jowls. Just like
Gotcha.
constantly depressing.
Do you know what I've realized as I've aged is my resting face looks very scowly.
Oh my.
Like if I'm just listening to you, I'm like,
Yeah.
And I'll see myself in video or something, like, I'll probably go back and watch this and be like,
When did I get
Angie, put a smile on your face. Like,
When did I get these jawlines?
but anytime I'm thinking, I look like,
Disapproving, little bit judgmental.
Judgy Oma.
Yeah,
I'm not, though. I'm just thinking.
we're not.
It's my thinky face. So
So
maybe
just consider that when you're looking at
when you're watching
resting
this, just consider,
Just consider.
that I'm not sad.
Unless you talk about Matthew Perry, then a little bit.
Oh, that I'm a little sad.
Sorry.
So these have been some of our favorite things.
Yes. Just some.
We would love to know what our listeners' favorite things are.
Yeah, we didn't talk about sex. That will be a whole podcast.
That's a whole topic
That's a
for a
whole
whole other day.
We'll do that one as a separate companion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like how it's different with age.
Yeah.
We should do that.
For sure.
So we'll record that next time.
Yeah, we will. But we'd love to hear yours. Like, go out and check out in the notes down here on this. We'll have our socials.
Yeah.
And we'll put up a little thing that says, hey, tell us some of your favorite things.
Yeah, we want this to be interactive. So anything that you guys are thinking where you're like, oh, because I know when I listen to podcasts.
Because you're flashers. So
You're flashers. When I listen to podcasts, do you ever like talk to them? Like answer the question? It's like, oh, they can't hear me.
Yeah.
So we want to hear you. We want to hear your voice. So let us know what you think. Let us know what your favorite things are.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you so much for listening. We will catch you on the flip side.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you laughed, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
We're still hot, just in flashes.